Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Wandering Wellspring. This is the tarot for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Mars, or Venus for the month of March. So now I do this a little bit differently than some others you may have seen. Before I do my videos, I go ahead and meditate on the energies of the signs and I get visions. So then in this video, I'll be telling you the vision I got for your sign, and then I'll interpret it a little bit in regards to how it may affect you and what things you may be encountering for the month of March and what you need to focus on, basically. From there, I'll be pulling oracle cards and tarot cards as guided, and this is a general reading for the collective, so it may or may not resonate or fit your situation. As always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how things resonated for you and what you'd like to see on this channel even more than this. Especially during this time, human contact is huge. So really, commenting is a great way to help the YouTube algorithm along with the liking and subscribing. Also, if you see decks you like, I try to mention the decks I use. Otherwise, they'll be listed in the description below. Hey Gemini, this is your reading for March, the month of March. I don't know why I'm picking that deck up. I am going to, well, this is going to be a little bit different because I did do a reading for you guys last night and the camera ended up messing up and things messed up, and basically it didn't actually come through. So it was a good reading too. It was clear, everything, but I could use some of the information I was able to get from that to re-put that, but I'm just gonna do it from scratch, do a reading for you guys. So I think we're gonna start with the Romance Angels Oracle deck. I got that last time too, and the other decks I'm planning or feeling to do for you are not what I got last night, but that's what I'm getting tonight. So, but this one is the same from last night. So we'll see what cards pop up and what Spirit shows. So I hope you guys are having a great day, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. And as always, I hate being watched shuffling. So, yes. But we'll see what comes through. Oh yeah, and before I start, well, actually I'll just say while I'm starting on shuffling. I'll just say, I asked for a vision. So during my meditation time, the vision I had for you guys, I purposely tried to not end up like being biased from the vision I had yesterday. The vision today was basically the concept of, it's like a guy, he's in a boat and symbolizing you as far as I can tell. And he's in a boat, kind of like a canoe or paddle boat or whatever. And he can tap on the water, or he can flick the water. And either way, the idea that underwater, to the creatures underwater, it kind of all sounds the same. It all sounds like an intrusion or some activity coming through or trying to come through. I asked what that water was supposed to symbolize, and what I got was, it's kind of hard to describe, but basically like, well, two things. And I saw it as like one and the same. So it's the same thing with it. But as an adult, if you get out of the shower and you're using a regular towel, when you wrap yourself up, you're not wanting your hair underneath that towel on your body, because then the water will, drip whatever from your hair and get your body more wet or keep it wet. The same way as when the discomfort you feel if you put on a button-down shirt and you have long hair, and when you put the shirt on, you put it over your arms or, your shoulders, your back, you put it over your body, and that discomfort you feel when your hair stays, if you have long hair, stays underneath the collar and it stays inside on your body. And then, obviously you pull your hair out and drape it over the shirt, but that discomfort you feel. And what it was because I was asking what the water was. And so the water is basically like the towel or like the shirt, where it's a barrier. It's a barrier to clothe, cover, protect. But in doing that, when hair comes through or when something is coming through that's of a different element and gets trapped underneath, like a shirt would to your hair or a towel would to your hair, it just feels wrong. It's uncomfortable. It's out of its element. And then, naturally we pull, we take our arms or hand, whatever, and pull it off to come out of the shirt. And so there could be more to that, but I don't want to really go into that yet before the reading. It's a little bit different than the one I got yesterday. It could be saying similar message though, but again, I really wanted to be open to what's today and what's, obviously that didn't come through for a reason. The yesterday's not come through, but record. So I was open to any new messages. So yeah. So yeah, those are the two visions. And I am going to start shuffling. I've already cleansed these. And I mean, in normal tarot cards, I don't really read reversals. Not at this point. Maybe at some point later I might start, but I'm not doing it now. And again, this is Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. If you have if you have Gemini in your chart in a prominent position or a stellium in different placements, this can definitely apply to you. Also, time is fluid. As we take actions or do different things to change things and change our path, things can change. So this is the energy that's coming in right now. But say you listen to this and you find this a month later, it may actually resonate for you then, because that's when you're finding it and that's when you're pulling this energy in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and so I'm open actually this time. I don't think I'm going to be specific about wanting or trying to figure out how many numbers of cards. That's actually 3. Let's see. I keep going. Oh, there you go. Let's go with this. I'm not even looking at this right now. I'm trying not to. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's similar to what was yesterday. It wasn't for the purpose of deception, though. Interesting. This is a different focus than yesterday. I mean, yesterday's did say some of the same things and had some of the same elements, but this is a different focus than you got yesterday. Or I got for you yesterday, because technically you never got it. It's interesting, this says the wedding, this situation involves marriage. And she's looking up at him, but he's like not stone cold per se, but just looking straight ahead like a soldier. And it's just this element of not uneven energies, but I kind of feel that, where one's looking to the other and the other one's kind of like about their business. Yeah. This one also, someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So, let's see. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, this one has like, I think like a painted face. It could be a mask, but that one has a mask. But this one has like a cherubim or something. And I mean, it could be seen as messing with his hair, their hair, or whatever. But I also kind of imagine it like trying to pull off a mask. It's like the energies, everything's trying to show what's really happening. This is really interesting too. It's like, And then, you've known each other before, past life relationships. So you could be dealing with a past life situation, or a situation that feels past life-ish, or it could be someone that's, come back around as well. It could be, someone, an ex, or somebody, you've been with before, where the connection might have even felt so good or so great. Well, so great because it felt familiar. So this could either be past life, or it could be just, it was familiar, and that's why you let it in. But familiar is not always healthy necessarily either. Like, just because it's been in our life before doesn't mean it's for our life in the future, or our life from this point forward. Sorry, I'm trying to move the cards because I just realized things are kind of uneven. And then, pay attention to the red flags. So it's like she's doing something there, whatever. But there's this and this, and I just imagine it's like different like energies, like trying to, break through the veil and show like something's off here, kind of like the cherubim here. It's like trying to pull off the mask. Like, come on, just because you're wearing a mask, like you might be wearing a mask for one reason, because we all kind of wear masks until some of us choose to wear masks, and some of us wear masks until we realize we're wearing a mask and we decide we need to take it off, or we realize that, we don't need to, and we never needed to in the first place, or, so many different reasons. But you might be wearing a mask for protection, or, I mean, I know that's like a gesture looking, but it's still like kind of harsh feeling to me. So you might be wearing like a mask that's like, just the metallic feels cold to me. So you might be wearing a mask like that, and then the other person might be wearing a mask that's like, trying to present or accentuate features. And it's like, either way, it's a mask, and you might be wearing a mask, and, might be to where you're coming to a place to where you need to take it off, or you don't realize you need it anymore. But the other person, I think the other person could be willfully wearing a mask. And it could be because they're not comfortable in themselves, or they're not comfortable, not just about you. I mean, this is them, like, this is them reaching out to you. And I mean, this could be you too, either way, but I just feel like this is probably you and this is them. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything. Let me go ahead. I'm trying to think if I should pull clarifiers on this or if we should just go into the tarot. See any cards for Gemini to clarify this? To clarify, let's clarify the deception card. Who is Gemini in the deception card? Who is Gemini in this deception card? Who's Gemini in this deception card? Okay, that's a lot of cards. Okay, hold on. I put those aside just in case, but I feel like so who's Gemini in the deception card? It says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So let go of control issues, healing family issues, and clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing. I'm going to move this over a little bit. This is saying when you do this, this is going to happen. So it's like things will happen naturally. This is saying things unfold naturally. So I feel like these two are kind of like really clear with each other, where it's like part of the healing family issues, part of the what I was saying as far as if you're wearing a mask. And yeah, if you're wearing a mask, sorry, I'm thinking about the vision as well. If you're wearing a mask and maybe it's from anger issues, from past issues, from parental issues, you know, that need to be healed. And because you've always felt like, you know, you need this mask, you need this protection. And then part of that is also letting go of control issues, because one of the control issues, in order to feel safe, you have to feel like you have control in this environment of, okay, well, I'm going to be not inviting, what is the word? Intimidating. You know, once I can be intimidating enough that I can feel safe, then, you know, that's a control issue. If you need to feel like you need to be intimidating so that you can feel safe. And this is saying, let go of that. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Be yourself. You know, and not be yourself like in those ways, but be yourself meaning like, don't hold on to those control issues. Don't hold on to needing to not scare people away, but kind of. And then this, it says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. The other reason why I feel like this is you is because well, I mean, yeah, they are reaching out to them. So they're surprised. So it's like clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This one is coming to this one. So it's like decide what you want so that what you actually want and what you're projecting will bring the energy, will draw people that are actually going to be good for you. So you could be wearing a mask, but this also looks like they're wearing a mask. Like it says someone, but I feel like in your situation, your mask, you're saying that their mask is okay because you're wearing a mask. And even though that might be how you deal with things and how you say you don't hold it against them, it's not healthy. Because then that keeps you allowed to wear your mask. And then you don't actually give the person the chance to treat you in a loving manner. Because it's always, well, of course they're nice to me because I scared them into it. If that makes sense. But again, like this could be a pattern you're just repeating. So this could be a situation of you need to get out of the mentality of the past. And it's not necessarily get out of the relationship or, you do you follow your heart in that. But you ask yourself, why are you doing the things you're doing? And what are you saying so that you can be okay with how they're being? Like, what are you saying about yourself to say, well, of course, that's why they're doing this. You're giving yourself, not freedom, but allowances. Or you're giving, maybe even giving allowances for what you'll accept from them. Say they're not treating you right, or they're, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, it's just a cold one. Like they think like they're in control because they're intimidating, and it's just a cold, harsh gesture thing. And it could be like a gesture, like also like, court gesture with, clown, goofy, trying to always make fun of things and make everything funny. But that's in a what is it? Defensive manner, not defensive, protective manner. That's to protect yourself. That's not because of only who you are. That's because you don't feel safe. And then this one, this is doing their own thing. They're saying, well, okay, well, they're playing this way, so I need to always have a mask on because I'm not going to be accepted the way I am. And I need to be accepted. And, there's so many different reasons for this one, but they're reaching out to you and you're attracting attention and energy that normally does not go with who you are under the mask, if that makes sense. That's why this says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So it's saying that this can come quickly, you just have to figure out, and quickly is a matter of, that's not matter of speech, but not beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but like what's quick to one person isn't to the other. But either way, it will be on its way. It will be in the works. It will start manifesting. When you take the steps to heal your family issues, heal yourself, call things for what they are that you've been doing, and you've been feeling like you're not safe. You might think you're safe, but if you have to put on a face, then you're not feeling safe. And then letting go of control issues. Pay attention to the red flags so you can start doing all this. So you can start even red flags in yourself. Like, okay, well, if you just treated someone this way or you were wearing a mask in this, like what makes you feel that you need to do that? Like that's a red flag in yourself even. So pay attention to your own patterns, behavior patterns with the other person, not just theirs, because yes, theirs might be bad, unhealthy, or just not right for you, but chances are you're projecting something that is drawing that to you. So even if it was a different relationship, even if it was something else, most likely you would bring back the same energy to you and you would come back in the same patterns. Yeah. And yeah, this could be a marriage situation. This could be a relationship situation. It could be the way you look at a relationship. It could be so many different things in that. Let's go ahead and let me see. Yeah, we're done with this deck. So yeah, as far as, before we get too far into the tarot part too, as far as the
what it is in relation to the vision, I really do believe it's, you can act one way and say, you can tap the water and you can hit and say, well, it's different. I'm doing it different this time. Things are different this time. But to the other person, it's always going to be an intrusion in. And, you could be that person, or you could be under the water, where it's like, okay, well, no matter what somebody does, if you're coming with a background to expect intrusion means I'm going to get eaten alive, then every little sound is going to make you go into that flight or fight response. Every little sound, every little sound is going to make you decide, okay, so I do need to wear my mask. So, you could be both. Like I said, you could be the guy. Originally I was thinking you're the guy, especially because the vision yesterday, you were the guy. But you could be just that. But also it could just go both ways. It could be a dance that you have with people in your life, where sometimes you're the one doing this is harmless. This is harmless. This isn't doing anything. And then sometimes you're on the receiving end of, oh my God, I'm about to get eaten alive. So it could be just a back and forth situation. Just like the towel or the shirt, it's a boundary. So just because we want the towel or the shirt to cover our body doesn't mean that we want our hair to be underneath it. It's like when your hair is wet, it's going to keep your body from drying off and it's going to get all wet. And ultimately you end up wanting, if you have long hair, a lot of times you want a different towel for your hair. So, but yeah, you're not trying to invite that energy or invite, you just came out of the shower. So you're not trying to keep your body wet. There was a time and place for that. You're not trying to keep it that way. So there's also an element of what it looks like is kind of blurred lines when it comes to boundaries, especially this, where, the guy thinks, well, I'm just messing around, just doing this, and it doesn't mean anything. And creatures underneath could think, oh my gosh, something's coming, or, oh, there's, I don't know, bait going to be thrown down and then somebody's going to die. I don't know. You know what I mean? So this whole back and forth of, oh, it's nothing. I'm just playing. And really, like, how does that get received? Is it really just playing? So yeah, it just feels like a boundary situation. And then with your hair, like when you have your hair long and you put a shirt on, like a button-up shirt on, and you pull it over your shoulders, when your hair goes underneath the shirt, obviously the situation, it's not wet. Unless you just got out of the shower, but it's not wet in this manner. But it's still uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right to have... It's one thing to have your hair hanging down onto your body, but it's another to have your hair pushed inside your shirt to where it can't come out. So it's this lack of freedom. Like, does that make sense? Like, when your hair is over the shirt, one, you don't have to feel it completely. But when it's under the shirt, it's pushed against your body. So it's like, it doesn't feel like regular hair. It feels scratchy and itchy and uncomfortable, because regular hair can move and can go with currents and, wind and everything. Whereas, and movement. Whereas when it's pushed against, it's like a different thing. Kind of like you might be doing this, and yeah, to you it's one thing, but in that circumstance, in that situation, to a fish underneath, it sounds like something totally different because of their reference point, because of when they've heard that before, the history that comes with that. Let's see. So as far as tarot, Guess we are doing this one. I haven't done this one yet. Yeah, so this one is the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. Sorry, I hope the camera's not like getting shaken. Shook. Messages for my Geminis in relation to the vision and the cards that we've seen so far. What messages do my Geminis need to hear? What messages do my Geminis need to hear? Messages, oh, okay. Messages, nice here. Wow, I really, okay, I don't want to, those, I literally just moved accidentally. Okay, let's see. I think it's quite a bit. Okay. I'm going to go where I'm feeling to put these, so they're like turned over. Actually, this is on the side. And I don't read reversals, so I don't know if I said that yet in this video. Oh, this is crazy, this deck. And I like to read intuitively. So like I know what the cards mean and I'll go through the meanings, but I also like to bring out things that I notice intuitively as well. That's so cool. Like, he's doing it with the tail and the mouth. And even when it's pouring right here, it's like, I don't know, I just see it as like a form of a tree almost. It's not just going as a petal out. I mean, the stars in general, like listening to omens, listening to good omens, you know, following, being hopeful, keeping your hope, keeping in good spirits, you know, trusting in what you've been shown is to come. And what you've been told before, you know, is blessings that are coming. I think it's funny. It looks like this bird is like about to fly. And for some reason, like, I imagine it as, like, it's a baby bird that's, like, I mean, it's huge compared to the tree, but it's all cartoon anyways. But it's, like, about to fly, I imagine. It's, like, that's the kind of hope it has, is, like, in order to even take that leap, I guess, or whatever, and try to fly, like, it has to have hope and know that, well, you know, my mom flew, and this person could do it, and this, not person, but this bird can do it, and this, you know. And that's, like, a hope it takes. Even this, it's, like,
a unicorn could be like, well, you know what? I have my feet, are used for different things, and this is beyond me. This is a human thing. But it's like, okay, no, they did this and using that to pour. And so it's a matter of letting that hope grow and bringing it and trusting. And being in a place of joy during it too. That's one thing I always get with the star card, is the joy in it. Like the joy in being part of that cycle or being part of that energy. Which is totally different with the Eight of Swords. I mean, Eight of Swords, in general is a card of being trapped, but not really actually trapped. It's a mental trap. So, I mean, it's like they can move. It's almost like the fish, like in the vision. They can move, and as soon as they touch this stuff, they'll think they're, in a cage because they're blindfolded. But in reality, they're not. Like if only they just move this a little bit, or I guess nuzzled one of these and had this come off a little bit, they'd see that, oh, okay. Like they're free, like there's an opening right there. And this is wrapped, but it's not that tight. Like that's easy to get out of. So again, it's like against all odds is what I'm seeing here. Against all odds, have hope. Instead of being the Eight of Swords stuck in your mind and thinking, well, this is going this way, this is happening this way, and every time I do this, I see this, and every time I hear that, it's the end of some fish under the sea or something. Instead of being in that mentality, be like, oh, wait a sec, think out of the box. Allow yourself to have the hope to receive and trust, so that you can receive the messages and the energy that is beyond your current situation. Sorry, this is there you go. I think that helps. I don't know why. And the Eight of Pentacles is a matter of, working hard and kind of enjoying your work, but, being a hard worker and doing a good job, being detail oriented. Oh, that's so funny. So this is like a castle right over there, but I was seeing it just because of my perspective right now as this is an actual full building. I imagined it like a school or something, and that these were windows inside it, and it was the idea that they're okay even doing this not dirty work, but not hard labor, but this the old-fashioned way, even when there's modern ways to do things. So that might be a thing too. It might be a matter of doing things the old-fashioned way, instead of automatically thinking, okay, I'm in a cage, being okay, well, again, thinking out of the box, being willing to go out of your current and looking back at the history, not saying this is history, but this is old-fashioned way, looking back at the history and seeing, okay, well, when did these patterns start? What can I forgive, and what do I need to heal in, so that I don't keep going on in the path that I've been as far as attracting this energy in relationships and connections. And then the Nine of Cups is, a solitude card. It's where, there's this piece of, okay, this is what I've done. I've done everything. I can just sit, I can relax, and I can be at peace with my solitude. I don't need, a relationship. I don't need a connection. So really a lot of this is about taking that hope, allowing it to get you out of these situations, allowing it to even keep you going even when you're doing something that seems mundane compared to what you could be doing. That's funny too. I know, okay, so this card, this is Crystal Unicorn Tarot, but there's no gender, but they're working on these, and these are pentacles, which, it symbolizes prosperity, wealth, money, provision. Yet she has or sorry, it has like a crystal or diamond or whatever on it, and it's like, that's more natural. Yet it's saying, okay, well, I'm gonna work in this realm in here, and I'm gonna go back to how, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, this whole idea of coming from a place of being further along, yet needing to look at your current circumstances and be like, okay, well, is this really what I'm doing? Do I need to go back, and do I need to look at the history? Do I need to look at the old-fashioned things and see if things are really adding up? I don't know, it's kind of abstract, and I might have to pull the other cards to show, but to show, I was thinking, like, to remember the two parts in the video. You can go back on it too and see. But yeah, and then taking that, and once you do that, then you come here and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't need to be reliant on this. I don't need to be judging my work based off this. I don't need to be judging my circumstances based off of this. I'm okay as me, you know? And it's this idea of coming to a place of drawing the right kind of energy in the people around you, not because you're trying to get them, but because you've come to a place where you're okay with yourself. Or you're more than okay with yourself. You're happy with yourself. You're at peace. And then the Tower, and it's like, the Tower can be a bad thing. I mean, not a bad thing. It can feel bad. But ultimately, it's a matter of, oh, and there's like a crystal right there too. It's a matter of getting rid of, not getting rid of, but being rid of, or sometimes being forced to get rid of, or forced it to collapse, your paradigms and the ways that you've been holding on to that have been keeping you limited to acting that way. I mean, it can be a really phallic card too. So it can be, you know, this whole thing leads to an explosion, whether it's phallic or just in general energetic explosion of being able to clear out all these things in your life that have been really struggling, as long as you go through and push through with hope and patience. It's really interesting, this, I think that's like the Kings, or I don't remember, but how that's like right there. I mean, it's in the sky, but almost looks like it's blowing the top off. And what's funny is the Tower, like, is that, but this is like an arrow pointing there. Neither of them are upside down. Like, this one's like falling in a way that it'll just totally looks like it'll land okay. And then this one's falling in a way that it'll land okay. Like, everything's going to be fine after all that. Especially after all that, because that needs to happen. And then this is a card of reconciliation, or not reconciliation, but it's kind of nostalgia, you know, reconnecting to your past, to people of your past, to past associates, past people. It's relational and connection and emotional release. And it's coming to a place to where you can go into your past, and you can, honestly, with all this reading, it's like you can see it with different eyes. Again, like I'm saying, you need to go to that stuff, but some of it might be you do this stuff first. And sometimes it's also reconnecting to your inner child. So it's reconnecting, healing those parts in your inner child that have been wounded, that have been acting out, that have been causing you to put on a mask because you don't feel safe, because they don't feel safe. So a lot of times, like, that can be part of it as well. And that fits totally with the other part of the reading. I'm trying to like liken it or see with the visions if there's anything. Yeah. It's pretty much seeing things for what they are, I mean, this was over here, so this could really be like what this looks like. Like sometimes in order to do all this, like it might ultimately be like this. Or not this, but when you try to do this, this is what might happen. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, I think that was good. I hope the message was clear. I tried to make it as clear as possible. Hope what you heard or what you needed to receive was exactly what you got. And if you didn't get it today, I hope that the next few days, weeks, months, whatever, everything will gel and click for you as it needs to be applied to your life. Thank you. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.